Welcome to my fragrance show. We'll learn together and grow together. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Well, guess what? It's day 2 of Promote That Mood with a Proper Day's Motivation with Perfume de Marly. Now let's get this ashy out of here. Today I'm going to use Avon's Anew Vitamin C. I really like this one particularly because what it does to the ashy, dry skin is it brightens it. And you can use it also as the eye serum. Voila. Let's get into it. Pegasus is an oriental fougere. The top notes are heliotrope, cumin, and bergamot. The middle notes are bitter almond, lavender, and jasmine. The base notes are vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. And you guys know when vanilla and sandalwood are at the base, I'm going to love it. I was reading some reviews as I was researching on Fragrantica, and it seems like people really love Pegasus. So this is the sample that I received from Perfumology.com. Perfumology.com. Listen, I will never stop giving props to Perfumology.com. First off, because even though it is a business entity, it has a heart. And the person behind that heart is mama and son. So thank you, Perfumology.com. Now to it. Get ready for Marshall's Blends fragrance. Book, bag, strap, technique. Here we go. Let's do this. Even though with like the samples it's kind of hard to do, but this one, that opening feels good. You know what the opening a little bit reminds me of? I'm not going to front or act like it doesn't. Brute. That initial opening reminds me of Brute. As it should. It's a fougere. Yeah, I like this. And I'm excited about the dry down, because if the opening is this good, oh my goodness, that dry down's gonna be amazing. So I'm excited. Look, so the opening automatically gets a good 20, 25 out of 10 for me. It's really good. As far as I can remember, I've never had a fragrance that had cumin at the top. I do use cumin in my cooking, not daily cooking anymore, because my mom now has a reaction to it, but I used to use it a lot. So I pick up the cumin. I didn't know cumin could be used in fragrance. And the way they blended it, it's correct. It doesn't smell like food, but I pick up the cumin. Ha! Interesting. Perfume de Marly. Very interesting. I want to find out who was the fragrance the perfumer, so I'm gonna come back and say, okay, see you in a few. So I was able to find out who the perfumer was, who's the nose behind Pegasus, and it's Hamid Merati Kashani, and he did a really good job. So I'm well into the heart of Pegasus, and what I will tell you is that this is one of those fragrances that when you come up close, it smells one way. Once it's diffused from your skin, it smells even better. So it's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. I have to say it's a wonderful fragrance. And also, I would like to add that this does remind me a lot of Brute. This smells like, for people of my generation, if the first time you smelled Brute, you remember how your eyes gleamed and you were like, oh my goodness, this is the best smell. Well, this is kind of what would happen to a person whose first time it is to smell something like this, because it's done wonderfully. I give you props. Yes, I am saying it smells like Brut, but obviously the ingredients are way better. The blending is so much more refined. So I use Brut as point of reference, but not to describe the actual smell. All right, this smells wonderful. This is a Fuget's Fuget. You know what I mean? So it's a really good fragrance. This honestly will get a 30 out of 10 for me. The reason it gets a 30 out of 10 for me is because, even though the opening was a little bit lower, is because it grows, it develops. You know, it tells you a story, and the story it tells you is constantly Fuget. And I think this would be a fragrance I would use nowadays to introduce a person to Fuget. You know, it's done really well. So that's the score I will give it, is 30 out of 10. It is one that you can get for anyone. This smell really doesn't have an age. Even though I referenced Brut, which some people might consider to be for older people, it really doesn't have an age. That's how wonderfully blended it is. And so one thing I've been learning is that when learning about notes and when smelling different fragrances and the repertoire of that caudal of information in our head, in our noses grows, it's important to remain objective in our subjectivity, right? We have to be able to give our personal opinion on the fragrance, but also refer to what a 14-year-old us would have done, or a 20-year-old us would have thought about it, you know? So that's what I'm learning. And that's why we're here, right? To learn together and grow together. Yeah. But now I'm gonna say. So I had to do a very quick update, and then I'll finish singing. Pegasus, the dry down is sick. It smells wonderful. That vanilla, a dry down is more gourmand than Fuget. And what I have to say is that I smell it through the mask. So, Pegasus, sing us off Marshall Gwen's fragrance. Goodbye, my lovely fragrance blenders. I'll smell you. Soon. Ciao.